Are you afraid of what would happen if you put yourself first? Hi, I'm Carly Myers, a stress management expert, and this month we are reclaiming the word selfish. Now, I've brought on a guest, Danielle Massi, who is a holistic mental health therapist and owner of the Wellness Collective. As a cancer survivor, Danielle understands the importance of holistic health and hopes to bring awareness to everyone about the benefits of taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. Okay. So Danielle, I am so excited to have you on the show.
I'm so excited to be here for the third time. I feel like an expert of stressing less.
You are like every time it's just like a joy, a journey, a pleasure, the whole nine yards.
Well, hopefully we can bring that to people again today. So yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Absolutely. So, I want to announce officially to my audience, to you listeners, that Danielle and I have decided to partner on an incredible journey, event, conference, transformational experience called Selfish Philly. So today we're going to be talking about what selfish means to us, but not only that, but why we've been, personally afraid to be selfish and how to get over that, how to break through that. So Danielle, I'm excited to hear from you what your thoughts are around this topic.
Yeah, so I think in my own practice, something that I've been seeing for a decade, and I didn't really know what it was that I was seeing, is a really big fear block around self-care. So what happens is people come into therapy and they talk about all the things that are going on for them. And when I make little subtle suggestions about how to make their life better, how to take care of themselves fully, there's always a reason why it can't happen. And what I've learned over time is that block, that little hand up, like, wait, I'm not ready for this, is fear showing up in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
So many of us have a fear of just fully investing in ourselves. It's a block that we have, typically one that we learn from our families in some facet, and then it just gets dressed up and presents itself in a certain way. And when we talk about it, we don't always realize that it is in fact a fear. Maybe it's a fear of judgment, of like what people would think if we actually took the time to take care of ourselves, like being branded selfish, which has always been so negative until we obviously took it over and reclaimed it. People are afraid that their families will fall apart, especially women. Like, I don't have the time to take care of myself because I have obligations, family members, kids, partners, and that can be for men too. Also, that their work life would be in shambles. Like, if I were to actually take care of myself in any way, everything will just fall apart. Or I know for me personally, my big fear has always been that my family taught me to hustle. And that hustle mindset historically has been my downfall. In fact, my business has quadrupled since I started taking care of myself and making self-care a regular, everyday part of my routine. The less I do, the more I gain, which is different than what we're taught, right?
Yeah. And it's funny, right before we got on the show, like in the pre-show, we were talking about this mindset and we were talking about what prevented us from being selfish before we kind of had our own breakthroughs. This is reminding me of that conversation, which is, I like to joke that I had a therapy session with my accountant at some point a few years ago, right? I had that same thing that Danielle's talking about, that my parents hustled, they worked hard, they did overtime. My dad worked third shift for years. And so I took on that, and I had this fear that if I stopped hustling, that everything would fall apart, that I wouldn't make enough money, that my staff would abandon me, that, whatever the fears were. And being able to put myself first and prove that wrong was huge. And I had the same experience that Danielle, you had, which was when I actually took time off and I actually took care of myself, I was able to show up better for my staff. I was able to show up better for my clients. And as a result, things got so much better.
And I bet as people are listening to this, there's so many people going, oh, but I can't. That can't actually be me. And that was both of us, I'm sure, for years leading up to the point that we're at. We are so socialized, so taught to just keep hustling, keep working, don't stop, don't take care of yourself. Because if you do, the world will fall apart. And that is fear. That is your ego talking. And truthfully, if you kind of get your ego out of the way and you can tune into your gut is probably saying, slow down, do something nice for yourself, stop and smell the roses. All these things, these little messages of like, relax, take care of, and we disregard those. I wish we could teach people to do the opposite, which is what we hope to do with Selfish Philly.
Mhm.
Instead of tuning into our ego, we should instead be tuning into our intuition and our gut and letting that rule us versus letting our head get in the way.
So I have a question for you, Danielle, then. So
Yeah.
I get this question all the time, and I'm sure you do too. So I'm curious to hear what your answer is, which is, how do we know when too much self-care, like we've gone over the edge, like now we're being lazy, and like
Hmm.
self-care is at the detriment of our life?
So my rule of thumb for this is always the same. There's some things that people think are self-care that are not self-care, and some things that are 100% self-care and people don't see it. So my question to everyone listening is this activity filling up your cup or is it not? So if you are laying on the couch doing nothing, watching your 40th episode of Bravo TV over the course of 3 days and haven't showered, that is numbing. That is not filling up your cup. That is just putting everything at a standstill. So if you're numbing in any way, if you're like doing things that are repetitive and aren't making you feel good, if you're zoning out playing games or like losing yourself in stuff that isn't filling up your cup, that's the wrong direction to be going in. That would be more in the realm of like laziness or like blocking yourself from success.
Or even like escapism.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would fall into numbing. Any kind of escapism where you're not actually bringing yourself up anyway. Before you engage in self care, you should be asking, is this filling up my cup? And if it is, there's no such thing as too much of it. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Well,
Yeah,
and
if
you
your
know,
cup is overflowing, that's great.
right? And then you have more to give to the world, which I think is what we all want. But you know, I always
Exactly.
like to give this analogy too. A lot of us love bubble baths. We love to take that warm hot bath. But at some point when you're in that bubble bath, you're looking at your hands and they're all wrinkly and weird, and you're like, I feel soggy. I am done. Get me out, right? And I think
Yep.
that goes for any self-care activity. You will intuitively know when
Hmm.
you're like, that's enough. Enough is enough. My body feels better. It's time to move on. You'll get that urge.
Yeah, and I think most people fall into the realm of like, we're not going to do too much of it because we can't afford to, or like that's what
Mhm.
we think. And at the same time, my question to people when they tell me this, what your block is and those things, is instead of thinking about it in that way, can we start thinking about it as I can't afford not to? I
Mhm.
need to find the time for self care. It's the thing that brings me back, elevates me, makes me show up in such a way that people are drawn in and I can be my best self.
Yeah, I always say like all of the excuses that we give are oftentimes the reasons we have to. Like, I can't do this because of my kids. I can't do this because of money. I can't do this because X, Y, and Z. But you have to do this because of your kids, right? You don't want your kids to go into the same hustle black mindset right? Like, we have
Absolutely.
to set the example, or we have to do it because of all those reasons.
Yeah, my kids meditate with me, and yesterday we went for a little jog together as a family. We
That's
can't
amazing.
afford not to.
Right, right.
Hmm.
So at this point in the show, I know we mentioned the event we're putting together. You're probably wondering why we're so hype about being selfish, aside from the obvious, right? It's important to put yourself first. It's important to take care of yourself. So I've co-founded the conference Selfish Philly with Danielle, and we are just so freaking excited about it. If you can see me right now, I'm like waving my hands. I'm so excited. All right. We are going to be having free facials, massages, Philadelphia's best wellness resources, speakers, you name it. And we're going to be talking about what it means to be selfish across the board. And not only that, we're going to be talking about how to break through that fear. We're not going to be talking about the easy stuff either, right? We're going to be talking general wellness. We're going to be talking money. And yes, we're even going to be talking about pleasure. It's going to be one of the biggest wellness events in Philadelphia of the year. So to find more information about the event or to get your ticket now, click the link in the description, or if you're watching on Insta, in our bio. So I also want to know, what are you afraid will fall apart if you are selfish? Like, let us know in the comments. What are you afraid? Are you afraid of losing money? Are you afraid of being judged? Like, what is coming up for you? Because we're going to be breaking through that at the conference. Now, Danielle, where can they find Selfish Philly on Instagram?
So all you have to do is look for Instagram.com/selfishphilly. All the links that you need are right in there. And we look forward to seeing each and every one of you at this conference. It's going to be transformative.
It is going to be freaking kick ass. We will see you there. Now, this concludes this episode of the Stress Less Show. If you've enjoyed this week's episode, let us know by giving us a big old thumbs up or hitting that follow and subscribe button. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.